or your teacher, or just someone that you love. It could be me meditating with you, someone that I love, love, respect, a teacher. How would one go about doing that?
Well, that's a good question, and not enough people ask it. Everybody watches him in the media or goes to listen to him, but how do we really merge with him? How do we take it in? Not just take him in, because we want to take it in and grok it, make it part of ourselves, and be the better for it. I mean, that's what we believe or hope, right?
Yeah.
So it could be the Dalai Lama. This is a good example. But whatever your archetype, your icon, your ideal is, as you mentioned some of them, it could be. So first and this is the instructions, and I'm not reading from the book, but it is here in the beginning of chapter 3, Meditating with the Dalai Lama. Also, I have a comment here about what makes good teachers and gurus and what makes for bad ones and how to discriminate the difference. But we would first imagine or call to mind this, let's use the word being so we don't limit it to person, which inspires us. And it could be an archetype, like Jesus, who's not a person anymore, although he's a personal God. Archetype, or
it could be like Isis or
a goddess,
like
goddess. Isis or Tara in Buddhism, or an icon or an image with a light. But it's good to do it with something that inspires you. Thus, the personal God like Jesus, or the spiritual master like the Dalai Lama, or you mentioned the great nun Pema Chodron, who's a friend and a dear, a real bodhisattva meditation master. Whoever inspires you. So it could be your mate, your grandma, your grandpa, your parent, your sister, your child. But let's keep that apart right now. We're doing meditating with the master.
Okay.
We could also do this with a mate, a child, whoever inspires us.
Right. It's
the same
formula regardless of whomever.
So call them to mind. We could say visualize them, but don't get the idea you have to paint in every detail. If you call to mind your father or mother, you probably remember them and you can see them in your mind. That's what we're talking about. It feels like they're there, whether they're alive or dead. You don't have to worry about what they're wearing.
And we're talking to YouTube right now, and there are people listening on the radio. So I'm just going to look at you. I'm calling upon you.
Yes. So we're called meditating together. So, and this is mutually reciprocal, which is the principle. Like, the Dalai Lama would say, I don't see you as different from me. You see me as different from you. But, I don't see you as different from me. Right. So that's the mutuality as we take that in, that profundity, that non-separateness. That's the practice of oneing, of co-meditation. We realize that, that's within each of us and all of us. It's not an ego. It's a transcendent over each of us, but it's immanent. It's inherent in each of us and all of us. So we're eye-gazing now, you and I, and, if you're at home, you're meditating, you imagine, call to mind, envision your ideal form, your spiritual superhero, your Dalai Lama, your Jesus, your greatest spiritual benefactor, your Tara, yes, your Isis, your Pema Chodron, whoever you quote like, Pope Francis is coming soon, maybe if you're a Catholic, him. And just the eye gazing and the breathing together, and don't worry about the details. This is not an engineering project. Just get into the feeling of it, the mood, the bhav we call it in Sanskrit, the whole gestalt of it. So it's like they're right there. Like if you think about your mother or your child, whoever picture you have in your wallet, you look at that and you feel the love. That's the point. Not what are they wearing today? I don't know. That's just a thought.
Right.
You're with them.
Okay.
They're with you. So I'm looking at you, and we start like just resonating together, being together, resonating, breathing together. It could be with eyes open or eyes closed, just the eye gazing and the heart to heart, mind to mind. It's kind of spiritual mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, if you like.
Okay.
I put my spiritual mouth on yours, and we like breathing together. Okay. And your Buddha heart, whatever you want to call it, your Dali heart, your good heart, your Jesus comes alive more. That's the idea.
Okay.
Like in mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. You breathe for the other person, they get breathing again. Because they're perfectly capable of breathing.
Okay.
That's
so
why
I'm going to synchronize my breathing with you. I'm trying to look at your breathing so I can synchronize my breathing with you.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that, because we're not together in place. It's not that easy.
Right.
Also, I'm talking. but just resonating together and, you know, listening to the voice. And if you're at home, just whoever you're visualizing, imagining, calling to mind, just being with them and feeling like melting away your cares of the day and being with that being, that person, that archetype, that Holy One. And eye gazing and heart to heart gazing. The heart is also like an organ of perception. We could use it to feel, to sense, to intuit. And so we start resonating together like two tuning forks resonating together, and they start to move in unison. Of course, you could do this with your mate, your beloved. This is part of tantric yoga, couples sexual yoga. Just resonating together and tuning in, and like feel, now we use the word Dalai Lama as our placeholder. The Dalai Lama is looking at you, and you're looking at him, and you're both together and breathing together. It doesn't work. You know, it's like dancing. You don't have to get every step or every breath perfect. You're just doing it together. Who knows who's leading or who's following? Just feeling the feeling. Just feeling it is healing. Actually, it's healing the duality, the feeling of separateness. Like, oh, I can't wait till he comes to my country. No, invoke it right now and be with that right now. Or you can do this with an archetype like God or Jesus or Goddess. And be in the presence, awaken in the presence. Breathing out these instructions, please, dear friends, listen. Breathing out into it, your Dalai Lama, your archetype, your holy. Breathing in out of it and equalizing self and other. This is a traditional Tibetan meditation, talking about equalizing self and other by riding the breath, seeing through the illusion of separateness, awakening in the inseparability or the oneness, and just interbeing, and relaxing into it, breathing into them and out of them, and just forget, not just in and out, just radiating, like pulsing wide and in, like a circle, like a sphere, pulsing out from the heart and in, and breathing, vibrating, just being together, and really feeling that closeness, that kinship, that blessing, that grace, and trust, and relax into it. It's just so beautiful. And for me, if I use the picture of the visualization of my guru or the Dalai Lama, just like being with them, but I could also do it with my mother or my grandmother, or God or Jesus. It works. So this is like a moment of grace, a moment of oneness, a moment in the presence with a capital P. Presence of what? You fill in the blank, because it's beyond words and concepts. This is how we can meditate with God. God isn't Buddha's favorite word, but we're talking English. To whoever's listening, whatever your higher power is, inner power, your archetype, your icon, your Holy One, this is a good way to, quote, co-meditate with them, or pray with them without asking for anything. In wordless, heartfelt prayer, a surrender and equalizing self and other. I, thou, as Martin Buber called it in the Jewish scriptures, not I, it, not looking at objects, I, thou, seeing the sacred in each other. Looking in the mirror of emptiness, O God, and seeing your sublime, and experiencing your sublime big self, true self, Buddha-ness, inner divinity. And then sometimes if we like to reinforce it, you know, we can put a little structure on it, but then you get into the forms and concepts. You have to use words or thoughts like, you know, oh, your holiness, bless me, bless us, heal me, heal us, help us, hold us, holify us, harmonize us, whatever your prayers and wishes may be. Not just, may I get a better job, although prayers of all kinds are possible. O Lord, turn towards me, be close. Hold me in your embrace. Let me behold thee. That kind of thing. Non-dual prayer. Oneness prayer, as Meister Eckhart might call it. Not asking for things. And really dissolving and also finding yourself in the awesome presence with a capital P, the wordless.
It means so much to me that you're listening to the show, and would love your support in any way by giving me comments below, or to subscribe to the show, or share the show with friends. Thank you again for your support. Love and blessings.